Hey, fellow Muppet fans, and welcome to Movin' Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This week, in another special bonus episode, this is the podcast where we watch Muppet-Vision 3D, all of its minutes at a time, and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And you don't have to worry, folks, because we are not going to resort to any cheap guests.
Did somebody say cheap guests?
Yes, it's our chief guest. Who are you?
I'm Matthew Soberman,
Welcome.
writer for Tough Pigs and Disney Parks news site WDW News Today.
We should also note that Matthew is wearing a Fozzie Bear hat, which is from the park, Matthew?
Yes, it is.
Cool. And you're wearing an Epcot-related t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm just a casual fan of the Disney parks.
Right, yeah. So Matthew is obviously a Disney parks enthusiast, so he'll provide some expertise here this week. So also my apologies to Anthony for that reason, because sorry, you're going to have to suffer through some more talk about Disney theme parks.
No, I mean, of course I knew what I signed up for.
Yeah.
We're talking about Muppet-Vision 3D, like you said. Maybe you didn't say it. Did you say it?
I did say it. Yeah, just the title of it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so we're talking about Muppet-Vision 3D. I knew that. Matthew and I are old friends. I know what he's into.
Right.
Like,
yeah, we're not talking about Moon Pilot this week, Strand.
Matthew and I have a Disney live-action movie club where once a month one of us picks usually old, always live-action Disney movie to talk about. And the first one was the 1962 classic Moon Pilot. So,
am I remembering correctly? Didn't you mention Moon Pilot on the podcast last time?
I did, and that's a movie that I didn't know existed until Matthew told me 3 years ago, hey, let's watch Moon Pilot.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I should.
So there you go.
With a young Sally Field as a background performer.
Oh wow!
It's
is this pre-Gidget?
I think it might.
Yeah, she doesn't have any lines.
Wow.
Yeah, Gidget was 65, 66, I believe.
Wow, I got to see this movie.
She did not win either of her 2 Academy Awards.
Good luck trying to find it, Ryan. It's not on Disney Plus.
That's what I hear from Anthony, in fact.
But you know what? As of the recording of this episode is coming to Disney Plus, all of the Netflix Marvel shows.
Oh yeah.
Those fun family entertainment.
Yeah. Lots of people getting beaten to bloody pulps in those shows.
Yes, they officially announced it
today.
As of now, you can tell what the recording date because people are going to go back to the Disney Plus Twitter account where they officially announced it.
Yeah.
You can figure out what day we recorded this episode.
Yeah, do that detective work if you really, really want to. Go for it. But we're not talking about any of those things today. Today we're talking about Muppet-Vision 3D, or as it's sometimes been marketed, Muppet-Vision 4D, or as the title, if you literally pronounce everything out loud, Muppet*Vision 3D.
Or, because they never updated the name in the pre-show video, Jim Henson's Muppet-Vision 3D.
Oh, right, because it used to have his name above the title on the outside of the theater, right? But
I think once the Jim Henson company sold off the Muppets, they removed the Henson name. But I believe the audio in the pre-show video still says Jim Henson's.
That seems right. Yeah, but Disney was like, these are ours now.
Or if you want the full name, Jim Henson's Muppet-Vision 3D presented by Kodak.
Right, although Kodak not a sponsor anymore, right?
No.
It's been a few years.
I think, at least for a brief period, I think maybe with the exception of It's Tough to Be a Bug, Kodak sponsored 3 out of the 4 3D movie attractions at Walt Disney World.
That's cool. I was going to mention some of those actually in a minute. But this one opened at Disney MGM Studios on May 16th, 1991. That was the 1-year anniversary of Jim Henson's passing. It also briefly not exactly briefly. It did exist for a while at Disney's California Adventure in California, but it has since been shut down. I don't know, Matthew, maybe you know how many years it was there?
It was 2001 to I want to say 2014 off the top of my head, but
Okay.
I will check that.
But it's been a while, so don't go looking for it in California.
No, it's not in California now. 2014. Wow.
There you go.
February 8th, 2001. It opened. November 1st, 2014. It closed.
Yeah. You would have gotten that trivia question right.
Public reaction to Muppets Most Wanted was so poor.
Oh, no.
That they said, you know what? We don't need Muppet-Vision 3D at Disney's California.
Oh, man. I hope that didn't have anything to do with it.
No, because I believe what replaced it was the Frozen sing-along.
Right, and Frozen was bigger
and
than
Frozen
anything.
Was just kicking off, and they knew they had a hit on their hands.
Yeah, so they looked at Muppet-Vision and they said, we gotta let it go.
We need theater, they have theater.
They looked at Muppet-Vision 3D and said, no, nothing, never mind, I don't have it.
I just said they said let it go. Oh, I see.
I know, but then I was going to follow it up with Frozen is number 1, Muppets are number 2. But I was like, nobody.
Oh my gosh! Did that attraction die with the Constantine pre-show?
It may have.
Because that pre-show is fabulous. I gotta tell you, it is the one thing. If I come into that and the pre-show is in the middle of it, I will let the group load into the theater in front of me, and I will watch that pre-show from the beginning. It is that good.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that too.
Well, I'm sure we'll get it. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into this. But so I just watched this whole thing for the first time. As listeners know, I've never been to the park. So I just watched this on YouTube, and maybe it's that it was all the same size on my TV, and none of it was a giant theater movie. I think the pre-show is way better than the actual movie. Like it's funnier.
The pre-show is very funny.
It's weirder. It's Muppetier. Yeah.
I think it maybe relies more on just pure comedy than some of the maybe gimmicky stuff. That's more what the actual movie is about.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. We can get into it. You tell us what it's about.
Okay. Well, so also this is one of the very last projects that Jim Henson worked on. He didn't actually get to see it completely finished. Most of this was filmed in January 1990. The Jim Henson biography by Brian J. Jones tells us that this was shot on Stage 3 at Disney Studios in California, which was also where they shot 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea back in the day. So...
awesome.
Think about that next time.
Anthony, we're bringing it back to old Disney.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Think about that next time you watch either one of those.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Have a little Kirk Douglas with your Waldo sea graphic.
Right.
Here's the thing. If Waldo sang Whale of a Tale, I would like this more. For sure.
Too bad. Missed opportunity. The remaining parts of the film were directed by Frank Oz. He once revealed on Twitter that Disney offered to pay him $50,000 for doing this job, but he declined. They asked him what he wanted, and he said he could use some socks. So Disney sent him a basket of socks. And as Frank Oz said, quote, all was well. So
that is such a Frank Oz story.
Yeah,
100%.
What do you need? Well, what do you want? Oh, I could use some new socks. Just a big, giant basket of socks on his door.
And I would hope that Disney bought him some.
Can of beans.
I would hope, right? I would hope they bought him some really nice socks too.
I don't know where I heard this, but I believe that Michael Eisner made sure that there were Mickey Mouse socks included.
Oh, that sounds like Eisner, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a nice way to say thank you from all of us at Disney.
Absolutely. A not very hidden Mickey. So this theater that this is in is located in an area of the park that was originally called New York Street. Is that accurate, Matthew?
That may be true.
Okay. I know they changed the name for a while to Muppet Courtyard, and now it's something different again. So in the years after this 3D movie opened, a lot of theme parks have featured these kinds of 3D movies with these in-theater effects that this one has. I got to wondering about, was this one of the first? Was it possibly the first? So I searched around online about this. Wikipedia tells us that In 1984, there was a 3D movie using similar technology called The Sensorium at a Six Flags in Baltimore. There were smells that were released into the audience in sync with the film, and it moved the seats around. So that was the first, apparently. And then a few years later, Captain EO at the Disney parks also had...
I was about to say, this wasn't even Disney's first
Right.
attempt at a fully immersive 3D attraction. Actually, their history of 3D goes beyond, even before Captain EO, because I believe the first 3D attraction was at the Magic Kingdom many, many years ago, where, or maybe it was at Disneyland, I don't remember, where they ran an old 3D Donald Duck short called Working for Peanuts.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
Yeah.
one that had originally been made in 3D.
I think so.
That also played before Meet the Robinsons in 3D in 2000 in movie theaters.
Oh, nice.
That same Donald Duck cartoon from the 50s. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I'm sure I have seen Working for Peanuts on TV at some point in 2D, but I've never seen it in 3D. So.
Yeah, it was shown at the Magic Kingdom for a while.
Not when I was there.
Then I think they got back into 3D later on. In 1982, when Epcot opened, they had a film called Magic Journeys.
That one I've heard of, yeah.
It's I gotta tell you, as a theme park aficionado, that is one of the weirdest things I have ever seen Disney put out.
I have,
and not in a fun way.
I have an old version of the official theme parks album, and it has the Magic Journeys song on it. It's a very trippy. Brothers. Yeah, it's very trippy. It's from the early 80s, but it sounds like it's from like late 60s or early 70s.
You are splashing in the stream of an unremembered dream. You are searching through the eye of a seeker in the sky. You are riding on the winds where the universe begins, through the atoms that repose in the heartbeat of a
I don't know, sitting around smoking some sort of
the Sherman Brothers just
substance.
hadn't changed their style, probably.
Yeah,
I guess so. And maybe the Disney people were trying too hard to update the Sherman Brothers composition for this attraction.
I mean, the way I kind of understood it is that the way I had known it is that the Imagination Pavilion, where the movie was sort of the only thing that the Sherman Brothers did for Epcot. That made it to the final completion.
Okay.
They did write a song for the old attraction Horizons, but it was ultimately rejected.
Oh, so they used a different song.
I think if you search for Sherman Brothers Horizons, you can hear it. And it sounds like a Sherman Brothers song about life in the future.
I bet. But but anyway, now there's been all these other 3D/4D theme park movies. You got your Mickey's PhilharMagic. You got It's Tough to Be a Bug, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Outside of
Captain EO a second time.
Oh, right, it came back.
And it's the Magic Eye Theater's current occupant, the Disney Pixar Short Film Festival, which is the same shorts you can watch on DVD or Blu-ray or Disney Plus with special effects that really aren't terribly special.
Is it in 3D at least?
Yes, it's in 3D.
That's something. And then outside of Disney, there's Universal has a ton of 3D/4D shows.
They have.
And rides.
Unfortunately, they literally just shut down one of their big 3D attractions in Florida just a matter of weeks ago. It was Shrek 4D.
Oh,
yes,
that was fine. I'm not shedding any tears over Shrek 4D closing.
Well, apparently you can. I think you can watch the movie on Netflix. I think.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, they like released it on home video not long after the attraction opened.
Hmm.
But if you wanted the full experience, that was where you went to see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Universal's done 3D over the years. They've done Terminator 2 3D, which closed not too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a cool one. And then there was a 3D 4D movie thing at some SeaWorld and Busch Gardens parks in the 90s.
Sesame Street.
Well, no, that one I've never seen, but there was one called the R.L. Stein's Haunted Lighthouse.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Which
Pirates 4D with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh yeah, I never saw that one either. But
yeah, for a while they I don't know, some may still have it. I know it's still at Universal Studios Japan because it was produced for Universal, but Universal only had the Sesame theme park rights in Japan.
Right.
So they did over there. I think it's Sesame Street 4D Movie Magic, but when it came to the SeaWorld parks in the U.S., it was called Lights, Camera, Imagination.
Oh, okay. So it did play.
I did manage to see it once.
Oh, okay.
An 18-year-old, an adult essentially, walking into a room for a Sesame Street 3D movie was quite a sight to see. But
that's one where you might want to recruit like a friend who has children or something, just so you can pretend that you're there.
Well, I had no friends with kids at that point. It was just me, and you know what? I just didn't care.
Oh, sure. But anyway, I am gonna go ahead and say that Muppet-Vision 3D is at least in the top 5 of these, maybe top 3 as far as like
top 3, top 1.
Yeah. Taking advantage of the 3D, using the theater for all the gimmicks and stuff. It's just, it's a good one.
It is.
So is it like a million times better in person?
It's
I think so.
Immersive in person, yeah.
Yes.
So,
and like I said, I watched it on YouTube, and I can see that it's impressive in person. You know,
it's like walking into an episode of the Muppet Show, but without guest stars.
But not a funny one. Like, the jokes mostly aren't jokes. The jokes are mostly like, this pie is in 3D.
I don't know. I think it's got
That's not funny.
I think it's got some good dialogue.
There's a few. Yeah, that's interesting. And we can...
I mean, I can see how it's impressive, like I said.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. It didn't feel like the Muppet Show. I mean, I already tipped my hand on this, but like the pre-show felt way more like the Muppet Show to me than the Muppet-Vision 3D thing did.
Yeah, you can make a case for that for sure.
Just watching them both in 2D on my television, like
right, yeah. So yeah, getting to the attraction itself. First of all, I'd like to thank YouTube user martinsvids.net for uploading the version of this that I personally mostly used for research on watching the...
Martin does a fabulous job with all of his Disney Parks videos.
Me too.
Very good documentarian of parks history.
So thanks, Martin. So before you even get into the show or the pre-show, there's the building, the courtyard, which is just full of just silly decorative touches and Muppety things.
Yeah. Not so much anymore.
Not as much as it used to be. No, sadly.
They repainted because, you can't see the Muppet Theater from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It ruins the experience.
Yeah.
As if repainting it doesn't ruin the Muppet experience. Because, the Muppets are all about drab grays.
Right. No, I think that's a pretty good... But, of course they're going to prioritize Star Wars over the Muppets. That's just reality. But, yeah, it used to be a lot more colorful. A lot more... entertaining to just walk around that area.
A lot of sight gags.
Yeah, so and there used to be this hot air balloon with Kermit's face on it, which you could see from various places in the park. It was this big yellow hot air balloon. Although I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit that I didn't actually realize that it was not a real hot air balloon until they took it down and they were selling off pieces of it. Mm. Like, that wasn't a real hot air balloon. That would be ridiculous to actively keep a hot air balloon inflated every day at this theme park. It was just a sculpture that looked like a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
But anyway, the fountain is still there, right?
The fountain is still there, yes.
That's a cool
That
thing.
fountain is gorgeous. Yeah, I love that.
Yes. It's Miss Piggy dressed as the Statue of Liberty with Fozzie filming her and Gonzo directing, which is an interesting choice. And there's rats in a rowboat picking up the change from the fountain, and some Muppet fish that are spitting water. So that's very cool.
Yeah, and now you have, I will say, the one thing that they've added in recent years is PizzeRizzo.
Yeah, we can talk about that. No, it's when did they? Oh, it opened in 2016. I know because it opened right after I was there most recently.
I know. How do you leave out like Ryan Rowe, one of the world's biggest and most recognizable Muppet fans?
Yeah, I don't know. They should have.
That's an insult.
They should have known better.
That's an absolute insult.
The building was there, all the signage was up, PizzeRizzo, but it opened like a month after I was there, and I haven't been back since then. So, but yeah, so PizzeRizzo, have you been in the restaurant?
I've been in the restaurant. I've walked around the restaurant. I have not eaten at the restaurant because generally quick service Disney pizza is not terribly good.
Yeah.
And being a New Yorker, not terribly good pizza is the equivalent of, handing me a plate of garbage.
Whoa. You wouldn't eat a plate of garbage, would you?
I mean...
So perhaps not even Rizzo himself would eat there.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I figure the Muppet Workshop, was he made in New York or London? And then again, Rizzo is one of those people who like any pizza is good pizza.
That's probably true. Isn't Rizzo the character supposed to be from New York?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
No, he's canonically from New Jersey. He says it in Muppet Christmas Carol, a movie where he alone is playing himself. So.
Okay.
Well,
if
we had done this a season later...
I know, I would have had that in my head already. Yeah.
When the cat is chasing him around, he yells, "Stop! I'm from New Jersey." It doesn't really mean anything.
What does that mean?
He yells it.
Yeah. Okay, that's funny.
Probably an ad lib from Steve, if I had to guess.
I would guess so, yeah. But yeah, from what I've heard, PizzeRizzo, the theming is okay, like kind of fun, and the food is not as okay, maybe.
There are nice touches. If you walk upstairs, there's the ballroom. There's a sign. There's a sign for like the reception hall. And if you look, it's like if you look there in the faded, you can see Pa Otter Memorial Service.
Wow.
Which again, as Muppet fans who read Tough Pigs will know, Disney does not own Emmett Otter.
No, that seems like something that they got away with. Like they just
probably. And the Jim Henson Company may have been like, okay, yes, Pa Otter is a character that exists.
Well, it's that weird thing where the that Green album covers album also had my Morning Jacket doing Our World and Brothers, and everything else was Disney owned Muppet songs. So I don't know what it is about Emmett Otter that they can just kind of slide. And of course now Kermit's back in the
that's great
on DVD and Blu-ray and Prime.
Yes, Kermit is back.
And here's something I forgot to even look up or put in my notes. Is the Gonzo's Royal Flush bathroom still there?
Yes. The Royal Flush bathrooms.
There's cool theming on the outside. It's like a pipe that looks like Gonzo's nose.
I think it's inspired by the plumbing factory from the 2011 film.
Yeah, that seems likely. But then you go inside and there's nothing Muppety inside the bathroom at all. So that's disappointing.
And as long as we're talking about the outside, I guess now we're actually going to enter through the gift shop and talk about Stage One Company Store, which used to be all Muppet merchandise, and now it's like reduced to one room.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I do have a story.
The gift shop looks like now.
A brief story that shows you my my passion as a Muppet fan. I was there on my birthday in probably 2014.
Okay.
Which was the same day that Muppets Most Wanted was coming out on Blu-ray.
Ah.
And I decided, where better to buy this Blu-ray that I would have all my life than in the one Muppet dedicated store on Earth.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the Blu-ray.
See,
I managed to find it later at the gift shop, sadly no longer there, that was at the end of the Studio Backlot Tour. Another great Disney attraction, which no longer exists.
Yeah. What a
But
shame.
How does the one Muppet store on this planet
know.
not have a brand new Muppet movie on Blu-ray the day it comes out?
It makes no sense. And again, the theming of the gift shop is still pretty cool. Like there's these elements of the Happiness Hotel from the Great Muppet Caper and the bus lockers from the Muppets Take Manhattan.
And there used to be the nursery set. I mean, the nursery set is still there, but it doesn't. It used to be all Muppet Babies merchandise. I think now it's all just general Disney. I think it's maybe baby oriented.
Okay.
But no, not Muppet.
But
oriented.
Yeah, good luck finding any Muppet merchandise in the Muppet gift shop.
I mean, there's still some. They still put out stuff. In fact,
what is it, like a couple of pins?
I was just reading this week they put out their St. Patrick's Day limited edition pin. No, limited release. I'm sorry, not limited edition. Limited release pin, and of course it's got Kermit on it. So they still make Muppet merchandise. They made a whole line of merchandise to open a new restaurant. They did the thing that they didn't do with PizzeRizzo, and they did it at Regal Eagle Smokehouse in Epcot.
You can buy some Sam the Eagle merchandise?
You can buy Regal Eagle Smokehouse merchandise.
Oh, all right. That's something. I would buy a...
Does it have Sam on it?
Yes, I think it does have Sam.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so the only other thing I had about the gift shop is when they did have a lot of Muppet stuff, they had a bunch of plush dolls of all the characters, including Bean Bunny, who has rarely been featured in merchandise form. The first time I ever went to Disney World with my family, I bought a Statler and Waldorf. But then afterward, I kind of wished that I had gotten a Bean Bunny because there've been several Statlers and Waldorfs, but very few Bean Bunnies. My brother got a Bean Bunny doll, and many years later, like just a few years ago, I was talking to my wife and previous and future podcast guest Stacy about Muppet-Vision 3D. And lamenting the fact...
composer of the show's theme song.
Yes, thank you very much. Composer of the theme songs. I was lamenting the fact that I had not gotten one of these Bean Bunny dolls. And she wrote to my brother and asked him, are you, like, really attached to the Bean Bunny doll that you got at Disney World in the 90s? Because Ryan wishes he had one, and I would pay you for it if you would send it to us. So... my brother said no, he was not attached to it, and in fact, he would give it to us for nothing. So,
that's a good brother.
Yeah, a good brother and a good partner.
There's the guy.
So here's my Bean Bunny doll.
I mean, you can't see this at home, folks.
With the tag and everything. And
it's in great condition.
Yeah, a pretty good likeness too.
Yeah,
and very
looks
cute.
just like the boy.
I think my mother recently at a charity auction bought me the Miss Piggy from that same line. Because I think that may have been the first line of Muppet-Vision merchandise.
That seems likely.
I think. But you have Bean and I have Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
So we can recreate the water skiing scene.
Yeah, we should do that someday. So, anyway, you go into the building.
We haven't even gotten inside yet.
I know. You go into the building, and the fun continues in the queue area in this hallway. Yeah. I guess the hallway of Muppet Labs is the idea here. There's all these like offices, and there's a directory on the wall of who all the Muppets are with their departments. Like Gonzo is the Department of Poultry and Mold Cultivation, and so on. They just really they packed every possible surface of this place with jokes and wackiness,
including some places you may not normally get to see. And for those who may not know the secret, literally as you walk inside, there's a reception desk, a guard desk.
Yes.
Themed to Bear on Patrol from the Muppet Show, and it's supposedly Link's security desk. And it just has a sign that says, back in 5 minutes, key under mat. And there's a mat sitting there. And if you go over and you lift the mat, there's a key embedded in the ground.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. Yeah, that rules.
The only reason I thought to do that or knew to do that, which I don't think I did the first time I went, but on my most recent trip I knew to do that just because I had read about it on the internet. So thanks, internet. Then eventually you make your way through this hallway, you get to the room where the pre-show is.
Okay, but before we get there, can I make one comment about that room?
Yeah.
There's pickled herring barrels, my man.
There are?
Pickled herring.
Yeah.
How many?
Herring. I don't know. Do you know, Matthew?
Oh, I don't have the number off the top of my head.
No. I don't know, but like, which delights me because that's, as far as I know, a reference not to the Muppets, but to the Marx Brothers movie Monkey Business, right? Like,
it's certainly tempting to see it as that, yeah.
I mean,
a thing that the Muppets reference often. It's not
yes.
like the Muppets never make a Marx Brothers reference.
In the opening scene of Monkey Business, all four Marx Brothers pop out of pickled herring barrels and then start running amok on this.
Now, what you're doing, if you really want to have fun, you have on top of the herring barrels a jar with two hard boiled eggs.
Honk.
Make that 3.
There we go. So so that's in the pre-show room, you said?
That's in that same room with like the swine trek and all the Muppet labs.
Okay, so the big room.
Yeah, so this is where room,
this is where everybody gathers.
That's all the same room? Okay.
Yeah, this is where everyone gathers.
I've never been in the physical space, so right. I don't know.
And I've not been there in many a year.
Sure.
While you're waiting for the doors to open to go into the actual theater where the movie is. There's all these jokes and boxes and signs and all kinds of stuff everywhere. They have some of the Kermitage Muppet like fine art spoof paintings. Those are around. And
another great visual gag, if you look up, there's a net full of Jell-O. And if you're a Disney fan, you may realize that is a reference to the great Annette Funicello.
Yeah.
Original Mouseketeer.
Yeah, it's a great visual pun. I've never been able to spot it. I've been to Disney World.
It's not easy to spot. Another one that's hidden up in the rafters, which I always loved, is a picture of the Country Trio's Jim, which of course is a caricature of Jim Henson as their way of saying thank you to the man who's sort of responsible for all this.
For all of it, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. I have seen that. So yeah, it's very cool. Like, they could have just herded everybody into just an empty room with maybe a few drawings of Muppets on the wall, but they really, again, just packed every possible space with jokes,
the sight gags,
and quirky, wacky things. Yeah. Any other notable or favorite jokes or props?
There's just crates of everything all over the place. There's so many great props. Honestly, you could spend several loops of the pre-show just looking through there.
I'm sure some people have.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. It's just it's just jam-packed with so much good stuff. And for a Muppet fan, it's like catnip.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
And then there is the pre-show, which is sort of, I guess, a riff on the idea of watching something in 3 dimensions, because there are 3 TV monitors side by side and Muppet characters appear on them, and they often travel from one monitor to the next.
Well, I mean, the multi-monitor setup is nothing new. I think Disney employed it at Epcot first just so that everyone was able to see the pre-show no matter where you were in the room.
Right.
But yes, with the Muppets, they played with it because you think that you're seeing the same thing on all 3 monitors, but as you find out, each one is slightly different, and that plays into a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, sometimes it's the same thing on all 3, but then a lot of the times they'll just cross over. And like, there's the sequence with these Muppet
Teamsters.
Yeah, crew members. And when they first travel from one monitor to the next, they sort of look surprised, like they do a take and look back at the previous monitor to make sure that really just happened.
And then you find out that the banks of 3 are all. Then you realize that each bank of 3 is connected because you have like Scooter running the vision test, and he walks through the 3 monitors, and then he goes to the other side of the room and he's walking through the other 3 monitors.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
that's really clever. Yeah, it's just
that
very
rules. That sequence with Scooter stumbling through the test pattern and checking the holds. And
that
all
must have been one
great.
of the last times Richard Hunt performed with the Muppets, because they had to
I was
recorded that like early '91.
I don't know when they taped the pre-show.
Jim is not in it at all.
No, I believe it was recorded after Jim passed.
I think that's right, and it was
and Scooter doesn't sound quite like himself, so I imagine Richard maybe wasn't entirely.
I don't know exactly when he stopped with performing with the Muppets prior to his passing, but yeah, I think Muppet-Vision may have been towards the end of that.
I guess it must have been. It does say on Muppet Wiki, I think this maybe came from David Gumpel's personal blog, that he directed the pre-show, and it was taped at the Jim Henson Company Carriage House in New York City. So I assume they just lined up 3 cameras, I guess you'd have to have multiple preview monitors for the performers too. So there must have been a little bit of technical magic going on just to shoot it, but it works really well.
Yeah, it's hysterical. My personal favorite part is Gonzo's flower pot dance.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you want to describe that?
So yeah, Gonzo decides he's going to have a little fun with the setup with the 3 monitors and do a solo flower pot dance with each monitor having Gonzo tap dancing, and it all starts out in perfect sync. So you think, oh, okay, they're all just showing the same shot, and then one of the flower pots on one of the Gonzo's heads falls off, and the other 2 like struggle to try and get it up while still maintaining the tap dance.
Yeah. Eventually, all 3 Gonzos are interacting.
Yes, and then you realize it's 3 different Gonzo, and as they applaud, they say thank you, and the other one says, "You're welcome, thank you, you're welcome."
Yeah, that's great. My favorite bit in this is when the 3Ds come out to dance.
Oh.
Or to do the song, and the 3Ds are, I don't remember the first 2 names.
Dorothy, Dinah.
Dorothy and Dinah, and then Max.
Max.
And Max is just like some deep-voiced man played by David Redmond.
I wrote about them when we did my favorite Muppet right now.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Again,
but it's great.
Shows you why I'm the guest this week.
Right, for sure. But yeah, so he says, Debbie's out sick, so the union sent me over, and then they do this song, and he does not fit in, and it's very funny. That's like such a good Muppet Show-esque gag.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's very Muppet Show.
Man, that's good. I love that.
Yeah. I was also going to say just the premise of the monitors and the some of the video tricks they use there, that's reminiscent of the Jim Henson Hour.
Yeah. This whole thing is reminiscent of the Jim Henson Hour in some ways.
Yeah.
Right.
And then also there's the one where so Gonzo tells Sam that Mickey Mouse is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Sam does
the whole
this big
Sam bit is fabulous.
Sam does this big,
as you get closer to the end of the pre-show.
Yeah. Sam does this big dramatic introduction for Mickey Mouse, but it's not Mickey, it's Rizzo dressed as Mickey.
That's so funny.
Yeah, when I've been to this, that always gets a huge laugh from the audience.
Yeah. Well, that, and I mean, I know that the show is a different thing than the pre-show, whatever. But like later on, in the actual show, a second Steve Whitmire character, everybody's favorite, Waldo, turns into Mickey Mouse and sounds like Wayne Allwine momentarily. Mm-hmm. And that's not nearly as funny to me.
It's not as much of a joke.
Can I
somehow,
reveal
right?
something? I know we're kind of jumping right to the end of the ride, but
sure.
He doesn't sound like Wayne Allwine. That is Wayne Allwine.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yes,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. He doesn't sound like Steve Whitmire. He sounds like Wayne Allwine.
Yes, and for a very good reason. Yes.
Yeah.
So
who else would it be?
Right, exactly, at that time.
You know? Yeah.
The other thing on Muppet Wiki they mentioned is that David Gumpel said when the whole 3D movie was digitally remastered in 2009, they brought him in to... So here's what it says. David Gumpel, director of the original pre-show, reported on his blog that he directed a new version of the pre-show in November 2008 for the updated attraction. But then it says that the updated pre-show never got added to the attraction. So presumably somewhere there's a whole new pre-show that we've never seen, which is very intriguing.
Well, is it though? 2008? The Letters to Santa pre-show?
I mean, I don't want it to necessarily be the pre-show every day, but I want to see it.
It's just the Bohemian Rapsody video on a loop.
And
they're like, hey, you like this, right? You like this? Come see our attraction.
Right. But what I mean, though, is like, this has Frank Oz and Richard Hunt and
No, it wouldn't be better.
I mean, how do you touch this?
But that maybe that's why they made the decision not to replace it. But I would be so curious to see what they did.
Oh, yeah. You referred to working with the Muppets as a Camelot time. Do either of you remember that? Was that Frank?
I don't know.
I remember someone saying working with the Muppets was a Camelot time, and this is like the last time they're all together.
Yeah.
Well, no, Jerry's not in this.
Yeah,
that's true. Everyone minus Jerry. But at least Jerry had many more years, had more years with the Muppets.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Whereas with Jim and Richard, this was kind of it.
This is it, yeah. Do we know why Jerry Nelson's not in this, by the way?
I think the question has actually come up on this podcast before, and I don't remember if we ever found an answer.
I mean, my standard answer is someone had to be on Sesame Street.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's in the Muppets at Walt Disney World, so...
Yes.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Also of note, in March 2014, they temporarily added a message from Constantine to the pre-show to promote Muppets Most Wanted. And in September and October of 2021, the pre-show was replaced with a preview of Muppets Haunted Mansion, which was a very entertaining special, but I kind of feel sorry for anybody who came to Muppet-Vision.
Yeah. I saw the Constantine pre-show, and they took out the Alonzo flower pot sequence.
Oh, yeah, that's too bad.
Oh, really?
But still, like, I would feel kind of ripped off if I went to Muppet-Vision and the pre-show was just a scene from Muppets Haunted Mansion instead.
Right, thing you can watch on Disney Plus at home.
Right, exactly.
Right, yeah. I just want to say about the pre-show, like, I'm just so delighted to have seen it. Like, it's brand new to me yesterday. You know? And this is like classic, like not Jim's not in it, but Frank is in it. Dave Goelz, Richard Hunt, like what a joy. It's so rare now for me to see certainly like this Muppet Show family of characters content. Like, there's how much Sesame Street with Frank and Richard and all that have I not seen? A lot, of course. But like Muppet Show family, there's essentially none at this point.
Yeah.
So this was like opening a Christmas present, Oh
yeah, it's fun and it's funny and it's inventive, which are all things that we love seeing from the Muppets.
It's kind of Jim Henson distilled. It's pushing the boundaries of what he could do and being funny and charming all at the same time.
Right. So, are we ready to go into the theater?
I mean, does everyone have their 3D glasses?
Well, yeah, you got to get your 3D glasses on the way in.
But don't put them on. Don't put them on until you sit down.
No, there's always at least like the one person who's just like walking around with their 3D glasses on way too early, bumping into things.
Well, and of course, all three of us
demonstrates in the pre-show.
Right, which is funny. I was going to say all three of us, of course, have the same problem, which is ill-fitting 3D glasses over our regular glasses. Not a fun experience.
Yeah, it's. I didn't start wearing. Well, I don't know what year it was. It's been a while now that I've worn glasses, but not until well into my adult life. So it wasn't an issue for a long time. But the first time that I had to wear 3D glasses over my regular glasses, it was definitely an adjustment. Like, oh, how do I make sure these stay on without just popping right off of my face?
It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a 3D movie in a few years, but
yeah,
that might be why I stopped.
Right.
You know?
So, yes, pick up your glasses, go into the theater. So this theater is very cool. It's like the Muppet Theater that you see on the Muppet Show, but bigger, much bigger, and nicer, I guess. Like it's
Cleaner.
Very clean.
Very clean.
Right. There's an audio animatronic Statler and Waldorf in their balcony box. They're wearing their 3D glasses. That's great.
That rules. Love that.
There's an audio animatronic orchestra of penguins in the orchestra pit. I believe this is Nicky Napoleon.
Yeah.
And his Emperor Penguins. Is that what it's called? I should have fact checked this.
That sounds right. I think Nicky Napoleon sounds right.
Yeah, that's the conductor penguin. So when Statler and Waldorf see the penguins, they do.
Yep, Nicky Napoleon and his Emperor Penguins. Thanks, Muppet Wiki.
Yeah. Statler and Waldorf do the joke of like, oh, look, penguins, they probably took the job for the halibut, which is a classic.
And that explains the pickled herring.
How
do you keep your band?
That's how
do you keep your band happy?
That's how they pay the orchestra. You got it. You figured it out. The Swedish Chef is the projectionist. That's another animatronic in the theater. Very cool. Also, a little bit of a reference to the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
So you're really just kind of immersed in this Muppet theater world when you enter this auditorium. So the movie. The curtains open. There's a quick gag with
many
curtains. Many curtains open. Yes. There's a quick gag with Gonzo sticking a 3D logo out into the three-dimensional space.
Just a headcanon question. Do you think that those curtains are the same curtains from another opening, another show, when they did it on the Muppet Show? Just running through all... I know it's probably not the same curtains, but if we're talking, we're in the Muppet Theater.
In the world of the Muppets. Yeah, sure. Why not?
That's my headcanon.
Yeah. And there's Kermit the Frog. We like that guy. He welcomes us. Yeah. He welcomes us to Muppet-Vision 3D, which is their new film process.
Which feels so much like, hey, a movie. It feels so much like, gee, it's going to be terrific.
Yeah. Kermit is there to usher us in.
Yeah, talking right to the camera.
Even as he knows that things have already not gone according to plan.
Right. And there's all like... In the first few seconds already, there's things just popping out at you and some, like, really...
An ironing board with Zoot's laundry.
Yeah, that's fun. Kermit walks in front of this set that looks like it's really... Like, it extends really far behind him, which is...
That big, like, iron gate swinging around that almost hits him.
Yeah.
As he walks into Muppet Labs. That rules. Man, I bet that looks awesome in the theater.
I think that's what they're doing. They're just trying to take advantage as much as possible.
I think the 3D really works effectively here. Not so much as things popping out at you, but giving that sense of depth.
Right,
sure. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm all for it.
Well, like in Coraline. Coraline style 3D, I call it.
Yeah, Coraline was one that worked. You know, I have this thing where I always say very few movies, feature films of the last however many years seem to me to be improved by 3D, even though you pay like $8 extra to see it in 3D. But yeah, Coraline was one. Hugo.
Well, it was one that focused on depth rather than on things popping out at you.
Right. Yeah. There's a few. Gravity was one that
Gravity looked great. Yeah. But again, like all the things you're naming are old because that trend is kind of over. I mean,
oh yeah, and I'm fine with that.
When's the last time?
I'm just having deja vu. Didn't we talk about this the last time I was here?
Oh, we probably did.
No, Matthew, we did because you were here for
the Cleveland segment of Muppets.
Oh, that's right.
New Zealand, yeah.
Manhattan.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Attack of the Killer Fish or whatever. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We've had this conversation.
We've already talked about. Yeah, we've already talked about Muppets in 3D. What are we even doing?
Well, we'll see you next time.
All right, so let's just move on.
Yeah, so Kermit teases that they're going to have a number from Miss Piggy and a big finale from Sam. This is very Muppet Show. Sam pops up to say that his finale is called A Salute to All Nations, but Mostly America, which is perhaps the line that people quote most often from this.
That makes sense.
Or another Sam line that comes later in the show.
Right.
I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
I had definitely heard it before.
Yeah.
I heard people say it.
I think also my theory is that because people are going to Disney World all the time and seeing this over and over again, this has contributed a lot to Sam, like, almost completely losing the part of him that is about culture and sophistication and just becoming like Mr. Patriotic guy. I think that has a lot to do with this. But then Kermit says at no time will they be stooping to any cheap 3D tricks. This is when Fozzie shows up with a party noisemaker blower thing and then opens a snake in a can. When Fozzie sees Statler and Waldorf in the audience, he asks them what they're doing there. They say, "We entered a contest. Yeah, we lost."
Oh.
Kind of
That's
obvious,
a good joke. I love
but
that.
it works, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good Statler and Waldorf joke. And then Fozzie says that his 3D act will shower them with humor, and he uses the squirting flower, which squirts real water on the audience.
Oh, is that right?
And then Statler and Waldorf say, I love this line. He's trying to drown us. What kind of an act is that? An act of mercy.
Yeah. Now, so we've established that this was not the first, quote, 4D theme park movie, but I wonder if this was the first one to use this water spraying gag. Because this has been used in so many of these things.
I don't know if it was
then.
first, but
I don't know.
I'm just trying to think of. I don't think it was in Magic Journeys. I don't think they really used the interior effects.
Right.
I don't think it's in Captain EO. Oh,
Well,
actually,
it
might be. I think a character sneezes in Captain EO.
Okay, because there's
You get bugs on you? You get bugs?
You get snot.
Just
you get
your body?
You get snot sprayed all over you. That happens. That happened in Honey, I Shrunk the Audience too. A dog sneezes on you.
Oh, is that right?
And in that Haunted Lighthouse movie, there's a bit where Christopher Lloyd is drinking soda and something happens to surprise him, and he does a spit take, and they spray water on the audience. So.
And you've seen all these movies, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So
I saw the 3D Lego movie at Legoland. That was the only one.
Do they use those kinds of effects too?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of like water spraying from the ceiling on you because they bro, I don't know.
You don't know the context of the water spraying?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was like something Iris wanted to do.
You'd have a better appreciation for 3D if you cared about theme parks.
I mean, yeah, I would have a better appreciation for theme parks if I cared about theme parks.
I can't argue with that logic.
Like
so Kermit takes us to the secret laboratory. He says, "We invited distinguished scientists from all over the world to come and work here. Unfortunately, none of them showed up."
Oh, yeah. Such a Muppet Show line.
Yeah. So instead, there's Bunsen and Beaker. Beaker activates this machine, and first he gets stuck in the gears, and then the gears are like bopping him on the head. Classic Muppet Labs. Then Bunsen tells us that the machine is going to generate the first living 3D effect. And they turn on the machine and out pops Waldo C. Graphic.
Okay. You know that I love the Jim Henson Hour, Ryan.
I absolutely know that.
We wrote a 16-part article series about it. I wrote a chapter in an academic book about it one time.
We have toyed with the idea of doing an episode-by-episode Jim Henson Hour podcast, even though no one would listen to it.
No one cares, right? I always say, like, I think you, me, and our friend Grant,
right.
previous podcast guest Grant Harding, are the three people on Earth who care about the Jim Henson Hour. So, like, believe me, when I say that Waldo, like, there's no reason for Waldo to be in this thing so much, I mean it. Like, on the Jim Henson Hour, Waldo's not interesting. And in this, Waldo also isn't interesting. And there's so much of him.
I get it.
Like, it's wild to me that they just ported Waldo, the exact character, over from the Jim Henson Hour with zero changes.
Weird, I guess,
and made him the star.
I guess most people know that Walt Disney World is currently celebrating its 50th anniversary. And, you know, they've done a lot of art to commemorate each of the parks as part of the celebration with a lot of the characters that are featured. And the one they picked for Muppet-Vision 3D was Waldo.
Well, that actually makes sense, though. They're
paying more attention to Waldo now than they did when the Jim Henson Hour was on in 1989.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's very awkward on the show. Like, he pops up in not even every episode. He pops up on that show to just be like, "Oh, well, Mr. Kermit, the ratings are down."
Well, and then
that's like all he does.
he'll
you
say
know?
something like "Welcome to the cutting edge," and he'll turn into a buzzsaw and fly
Turn
over
into a knife,
everybody's
and he'll be
heads.
like, why does he turn into Hamlet again?
I don't remember.
There's like some joke where he says to be or not to be or something, and like
Yeah.
gets like a Hamlet collar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he does all that same stuff in this movie, and it's like, I mean, I guess the reason he would be the celebrated character is because he feels like he's unique to the park.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Because nobody remembers the Jim Henson Hour.
You can get a Miss Piggy toy or a Kermit toy anywhere, but a Waldo toy feels like it's specifically a Muppet-Vision thing.
Right, but do people like him? Like, is there?
Just
like as someone where like every Jim Henson Hour character is my special baby, you know. But like, if I didn't know that Jim Henson Hour, like, would people go see this and are like, boy, I love that like primitive CGI.
Well, so that's the thing. You can really tell how excited Jim Henson was about just the idea of this computer animated puppet. And I guess he just thought it would be really cool to not only use the character again, but to see what he looked like in 3D. But yes, that is something that kind of dates this now, because he kind of does look like a computer animated character from 1990.
Right. Well, he totally does, of course. I mean, he's very. I mean, everything is polygons. You know, there's no. I mean, he cannot be and have an interesting design because the technology just wasn't there.
Right. I don't suppose when they digitally remastered the film in 2009, I don't suppose they made any like visual upgrades to Waldo. They probably just so. Yeah. So it's still just the same version of him.
I mean, I think the video we watched on YouTube sure seemed to be newer than 2009.
I think it was uploaded in 2016.
Okay, so it would be.
And the way Martin works is he stands there filming, and he's probably got a pair of 3D glasses on the camera, because otherwise you're just going to get too blurry images.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it says in the description of that video that he applied a polarizing effect to the camera to remove the 3D effect.
Wow. High tech.
Yeah.
So
it looks great.
But based on the reaction of the audience when I've been there, people do get a kick out of Waldo. I mean, they laugh when he bounces on people's heads, which happens. I mean,
it's literally a character designed to be popping in your face.
Yes,
as the Swedish chef might say.
Yeah,
yeah, and it is funny that nobody watched the Jim Henson Hour, and yet every day thousands of people, I guess if they're lucky, thousands of people are going to Muppet-Vision 3D and seeing Waldo, and millions of people have come to know him that way.
And they love him. He's their special baby too.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe if they had written Lindbergh into the show, things would be different.
Boy, if only.
I wish this was a Jim Henson Hour live show, like a 3D show.
Jim Henson Vision 3D.
Yeah, man. Give me Leon. Give me Vicky. Give me Chip and Zandra.
Yeah.
And halfway through, John Hurt just stumbles in.
It would actually, I could see it working to have the film interrupted. I mean, there's already enough chaos happening, but to have the film interrupted by Chip and Zandra and Ubu and have them like comment on the crass commercialization of Disney. But Disney probably never would have allowed that, but that
we
would have been
off
funny.
The grid on the cutting edge. Guys, we have to return the 3D camera by noon.
Yeah.
Did we hear this up?
Yeah, something like that. So Waldo does his shtick. There's a joke where he says to all the viewers, all these other people think I'm talking to them, but I'm really just talking to you. Bunsen and Beaker try to deactivate the machine. It doesn't work. Waldo's bouncing on people's heads.
I'm bouncing on people's heads.
Oh, speaking of that joke, I can tell you that doesn't work if you sit in the front row, because then there's nobody's heads in front of you for Waldo to be bouncing on. So don't sit in the front row.
I do like the idea that Bunsen is so horrified by Waldo's existence that he has to undo him. He has to uncreate him.
I mean, we talk about there's no Muppet canon in the reality of this movie, Bunsen accidentally created Waldo.
Right. Are you familiar with Ultron?
Right. It's a very similar situation. What have I done?
Bunsen is
So are you saying
is Hank Pym or Tony Stark?
I was just
on-
going to say, are you telling me that Dr. Bunsen Honeydew is the Tony Stark of the Muppets? Actually,
Yes,
that does
or-
kind of make sense.
or the Hank Pym if it's the comic. Yes.
You will not be surprised to hear that I was sitting here thinking, should I mention the distinction between Hank Pym creating Ultron and Tony Stark? Anyway, thank you for doing it for me.
Of course, man.
So
Anytime.
they try to inflate Waldo until he pops, but he just explodes into a bunch of little Waldos.
Oh, there's so many Waldos.
So
Yep.
many Waldos.
Waldotopia.
And that's a great projection effect in the theater.
Yeah.
Because they have
They're, like,
projected
floating.
Waldos spinning around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a quick thing, but I think it works well.
Yeah. So then Bunsen uses something that I think he calls the vacuum Muppet.
The vacuum Muppet.
Yeah. When
Yeah,
you
he's
spill
gonna
something on the
vacuum-
floor,
'cause he's
make sure
gonna-
you vacuum up it.
Vacuum up it. Yeah, which is great.
Oh, that's bad.
No, that's
very
good.
bad.
But that just sucks up the whole, like, everything in the frame of the movie into the vacuum cleaner, except Waldo.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, sucks up the frame.
yeah, Waldo's on a black screen. He turns into a taxi. He drives away. Kermit comes back, and there's Fozzie, who now has a remote control banana cream pie. This just kind of floats around and then smashes itself in Fozzie's face.
Well, wait, doesn't Kermit sort of the screen is black and doesn't Kermit open a door that goes back to the main set?
Oh, yeah, he goes back into the back into the reality of the
Yes.
space that they've been occupying.
Just a good
before.
sight gag.
Yeah, it's good.
So until yesterday, the only image from this movie that I knew was Kermit and Fozzie with the pie floating,
Oh, yeah.
which appears on pages 224 and 225 of Jim Henson The Works.
There you
So,
go.
If you asked me what this was about, it's about Kermit and Fozzie making a pie float in front of over the audience's heads.
Yeah,
For
the whole
20
thing.
minutes.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
That must be like a promotional image that they used in like Disney World brochures and stuff.
I think they did a number of those with that same setup of the Muppets popping out into the audience.
Right,
I think
right.
there's another one with Bean and Miss Piggy.
I think that's right. But in that image, it makes it look like the pie is actually extended beyond the screen, floating over the heads of the audience.
But that's not true.
Well, I mean, it's 3D, so it kind of looks like it is.
Yeah.
And then it smashes itself in Fozzie's face. Kermit says, "Fozzie, that's terrible." Which, it's so nice that we get one more time of Jim Henson's Jim Henson's Kermit insulting Fozzie.
Yeah.
Just like the Muppet Show days.
Right.
So then it's time for Piggy's number.
Oh,
But
you're
not-
not going to give the punchline to the Kermit Fozzie, that's terrible?
Oh, yeah, what does he say?
He said, "You're right. It needs more sugar."
There you go.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. So, so Piggy's number happens, but not before Scooter and Janice ride by in the background on a tandem bicycle. I don't know. Is this some sort of little shout out to Richard Hunt? I don't really know.
I don't quite know, but I believe that's the only time you see Richard's characters in the main
Right.
show film.
Yeah.
He didn't play Sweetums in this?
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
he?
right. That might
And
be
he plays
Sweden.
Statler.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Statler.
Yeah.
Then, if it was a tribute to Richard, why didn't they just do Jerry Nelson characters? Probably because which two Jerry characters would be riding a tandem bicycle? I mean, Floyd and Crazy Harry.
Pops and maybe. I don't know. But anyway, it's a neat little thing.
Pops in New Zealand.
I would love that.
Pops in New Zealand.
Yeah.
How is New Zealand not in this movie?
Jerry Nelson didn't work on the movie.
He should
I
at
know,
least
but
be in the background.
he should be throwing boomerang fish
Yeah, during the finale.
in
Yeah,
3D.
Well, I mean, we'll get to the finale, but New Zealand isn't in the finale because the Muppets aren't in the finale.
Oh, that's kind of true. Yeah.
It's like a bunch of generic soldier puppets.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, so Miss Piggy is sitting near a beautiful little pond in a park. She tries to sing Dream a Little Dream of Me, but she keeps getting interrupted. By whom? Well, it's Bean Bunny, our old pal from the Jim Henson Hour. Another Steve Whitmire character from the Jim Henson Hour in this movie. So he's like doing stuff like the lyrics mention bubbles, and Bean starts blowing bubbles. At which point,
it's all
Now,
very
to rewind,
it's all very Wayne and Wanda.
to rewind
yeah.
a bit, they set this up in the pre-show about Bean wanting to be part of Miss Piggy's number.
Specifically about Miss Piggy.
Yeah, because at some point he's like
I've already
bringing on a
forgotten
floaty, and you just hear Miss Piggy saying, "What are you doing here?" You hear the hi-ya, and you just see, Bean flying across the monitors.
Oh yeah,
So a bit of a payoff.
yeah.
there.
No, that's cool. They set it up and then paid it off. So when he blows bubbles, then the actual theater fills with physical bubbles. Another effect. Piggy, though, is not amused, especially when she ends up getting water skied out of the scene. Bean has somehow arranged for a motorboat to yank her across the pond. So Sam the Eagle then shows up and scolds Bean and tells him to go away. This is such a brief moment, but I really like this dynamic. I wish we had gotten to see some other glimpse somewhere, I don't know, maybe on Muppets Tonight or something, of just like Sam who is so concerned with things being cultural and sophisticated and appropriate, just getting mad at Bean with his excessively cute antics.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
I kind of wish Miss Piggy had been able to, like, I wish they had given her a whole song, and like the 3D effects are fun, but like it feels so short to me.
Well,
like,
the whole
I know
thing,
this is a short movie, but
yeah, I don't actually know what the total runtime of the movie is, but they really just kind of have to keep it moving because they gotta keep it short to bring in the next audience full of people. But yeah, it is too bad that we don't get to see more of several of these things. So Bean exits the scene and meets up with the other Steve Whitmire character, Waldo, and they decide to leave the movie together.
that is bananas, by the way. That there is like a major plot point in this thing that is still running. Like that's what blows my mind, is that you can go to Walt Disney World and watch a Bean Bunny Waldo C. graphic buddy comedy.
Yes.
Complete with Bindle.
True.
Right. Which is bonkers. Like
it is.
I can't believe that.
But this is where the Muppets were at the time and where they were going, where it's like, Steve Whitmire was one of the core performers. He didn't have a lot of characters, so it's like,
right,
these are his two big characters now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he was young. I mean, he's 31 or something here,
Yeah, yeah. So Sweetums briefly wanders onto the movie screen playing paddleball. That's yet another cool 3D gimmick. But then all the Muppets convene and decide to put the film on hold and look for Bean. They are just, they're calling his name. They're looking all over.
And you see the flashlights going, the lights swing around. So that it looks like they're waiting for flashlights in the theater.
Inside the theater.
And then you get the best surprise of all.
Right. A real Sweetums wanders into the theater with his flashlight.
Here's the thing. Like I said, we watched this on YouTube. My wife Roz and I watched it on YouTube. We both gasped watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine how awesome that is in the theater.
Oh yeah, it's so exciting.
So in times past where I went, it got a big reaction, but more recently, I think the last time I went, depending on how the cast members are feeling, Sweetums sometimes walks into the pre-show, doesn't say anything because there's but he waves to the crowd. That kind of takes away the big reveal.
Right.
That's true. They probably shouldn't do that, but it is fun.
That being said, I think they should have a Sweetums meet and greet after the film. Like,
oh yeah.
But then you'd need two costumes because the movie's still, the movie continuously runs. You can't have Sweetums
Right. Yeah.
Sweetums come out for like 2 minutes to sign autographs and then get in position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But it is really striking. Just you just saw this big
On the screen,
Muppet monster guy on the screen, and it's like, oh, now he's in the room with us. Like, is this which reality am I living in right now?
and yet I think it also speaks to the fact that, and I mentioned this on like the Jim Henson Hour, actually one of my favorite Muppet things of all time, Secrets of the Muppets.
Greatest.
Where Jim reveals, like, for all the technology, the most important thing is the human element. The Muppets, anybody can have this technology, but the Muppets can only be done by Muppet performers because that's their skill.
Right.
And to see a real life Muppet right in front of you.
Yeah. And I assume they hire like people with puppetry
I believe
experience
that cast members are trained by, I know back in the day it was the Jim Henson Company. I don't know if they still do the training or if they now just hire out the Muppet performers who work for Disney.
Right.
I don't know if Matt Vogel does Sweetums training.
Wow, that'd be
But
great.
yeah, they're trained by Muppet connected
professionals.
people.
Yeah,
professionals.
Yeah. And the Sweetums, it's obviously not as sophisticated as, I mean, if you can't really tell in the theater or even on this YouTube video, but if you just Google image search pictures of it, it's not quite as sophisticated as the real Sweetums Muppet that we see in movies and TV shows. But it's pretty darn close.
Ease of operation.
Like, the mouth moves. It looks like Sweetums. They walk like Sweetums. So
in the dark, when you're watching the movie, it's Sweetums.
Yeah, it's great. So Sweetums asks the audience if they've seen a bunny, and so some of this shouting is pre-recorded on the soundtrack of the movie, although usually people in the audience are shouting at Sweetums and pointing because the bunny is up in the other balcony box on the opposite side from Statler and Waldorf. So now we've gone from a Sweetums costume, a live person in a Sweetums costume puppet, to then our attention is drawn to an animatronic Bean. And then our attention is drawn back to the screen where there are Muppet hand puppets.
And they're interacting with the animatronic Bean.
Right, exactly. They talk to him. He talks back to them. It's so clever.
The coordination, the finesse, the pizzazz.
Yeah, the timing.
This is why I love this attraction and why I'm so glad I'm here to talk about it.
Oh, good. But then yet another different kind of puppet shows up because Waldo pops back in, a computer animated puppet. And he suggests that maybe Bean can help with the finale. They decide that Bean can help with the fireworks. Kermit asks Sam if he's ready. Sam says, yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale. And Kermit says,
you got a minute and a half.
Right.
Great. That's wonderful. Love that.
That's probably my favorite joke in the whole thing.
It's a solid joke. Yeah.
And
there
also
are a lot of solid jokes. I think we missed I think in the pre-show we have Gonzo demonstrating how you can trip and fall if you walk while wearing your 3D glasses. And then Sam says, will you stop this nonsense? And of course Gonzo turns on and says, what nonsense would you like to see?
Yeah, that's a great one.
It's great. That's good.
That's probably that's one of my favorites. Just great dialogue.
Muppets are good.
Here.
Muppets are
good.
Muppets
are good. Muppets
are funny when done well. Yes. And then the finale. There are, as Anthony alluded to, a lot of toy soldier puppets that don't look very Muppety. They're dancing around. They're playing instruments.
Man, this is baffling to me. Like, how did they land on this? Like, we see Miss Piggy as the Statue of Liberty briefly, but like mostly it's just these like not that terribly appealing looking soldier puppets.
Yeah.
And Waldo, again, our favorite guy, the hero of this movie for some reason, Waldo. Why isn't it like our Muppet characters from TV doing something exciting for the finale?
Perhaps a tribute to the fact of the many generic puppets that would appear on the Muppet Show that would be the subject of sketches. I mean, I don't know if like unnamed soldier falling into a tuba has the same effect as like, oh no, Janice has fallen into a tuba.
Well, yeah, no, we don't want to see Janice fall into a tuba. But
yeah, I think if they looked more, if they were like more whatnots, I think I would be fine with it. You know, like the construction workers at the start of the pre-show, those guys look like whatnots.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's
not
fine.
to jump ahead slightly, but I think there's also a resemblance to the doll animatronics on It's a Small World.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
That's what I was going to say. I think with the theme being a salute to all nations, but mostly America, I think they're riffing on It's a Small World, so
sure,
that might
that
be
makes sense.
Not the first time, of course.
You're talking about the Small World puppets showing up in the Muppets at Disney World special?
That's true. Also using the song in the Muppet Show.
Oh, in the Spike Milligan episode.
The Spike Milligan episode.
Yeah, which
we've talked extensively. We've written extensively about.
That episode earned its disclaimer on Disney Plus.
I think I wrote the review on that one too.
Yeah, there
you go. I believe you did.
Yeah, but it would have been fun to see more Muppets that we know in this, and thinking about the fireworks, Crazy Harry could have been there even without, he didn't have to speak. He could have just been running through and blowing stuff up and setting off fireworks.
Yeah.
But then Waldo
Waldo wouldn't be the master of chaos that he is.
Yeah, well, for most of it, Waldo's just like turning into
Waldo
fireworks.
Waldo can't be upstaged. That's why Jerry Nelson wasn't there. Because Waldo knew that he would upstage him.
Yeah, that must be it. So all this stuff is happening. Waldo knocks a tuba onto one of the soldiers' heads, as Matthew mentioned. The soldiers just running around bumping into stuff
with live firearms.
Right. He's holding his rifle. Bean sets off the fireworks from the balcony, and then images of fireworks appear on the ceiling of the auditorium, which is another cool effect. This is another one of my favorite jokes, though. Statler says, "Ooh, ah, ooh," and Waldorf says, "Enjoying the fireworks?" And Statler says, "No, your chair is on my foot." Yeah, I love that one. Piggy is dressed as the Statue of Liberty. Part of her costume falls off in all the chaos. Sweetums yells at the chef to stop the movie, and then he runs back into the theater.
I think we see Miss Piggy wearing a girdle.
She's wearing some kind. I don't know what is this
old timey.
Yeah, what is this item?
It's like a slip or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So Sweetums tosses a bucket. Do I have this right? He tosses a bucket of water at the penguins.
Trying to remember what point that happens. It does happen.
It's I guess because all the fireworks are exploding and things. Yeah. So then the conductor though responds to that by preparing to fire a cannon.
Yes, because Sweetums yells "Fire! Fire!"
Fire. Okay, right.
It throws the water and they aim the cannon because the penguins are trying to get rid of Waldo. I think.
I guess so. It is actually kind of hard to follow everything that's going on in this sequence because
I don't remember. Again, it's been a little while.
Yeah, and it's pure chaos. So the penguin conductor fires this cannon. It hits the projection booth, and if you look back in the theater, it actually appears to have blown a hole in the wall.
Oh, the projection effect on the wall. Well, I won't ruin it.
Yeah, which is so cool.
We still haven't gotten to the big ending.
Right. And then the film actually when this happens, the film I guess gets blown off the screen.
Unspools something.
Yeah. So that leaves the screen just like white, blank, nothing, and then
Waldo's there.
Right. Then Waldo pops up. He's still flying around. The chef responds by firing his blunderbuss at Waldo, who's flying around on the screen, which then it looks like there's holes being blasted in the screen. Waldo's taunting the chef. Waldo says something like, you couldn't hit me with a cannon.
And you see the Swedish chef has rolled out a big giant cannon.
If you look to the back of the theater, the chef actually does have a cannon. He fires off his own cannon, blows a hole in the screen and apparently like blows a hole
up the theater
through the whole wall of the theater.
The that's one of the best effects is literally you can see like parts of the theater look like they have been blown away.
Yes. If you look around the theater, the walls are full of all these holes and like flickering,
but they're
like
covered with a fabric
burning.
that if the line shines on them from the front, it just looks like the regular wallpaper pattern of the theater. But when you light it from the back, suddenly it looks like a hole has been punctured.
Yes,
through.
And I don't think I figured that out until the third time I saw this. Because the first time I was just like, how did they do that? Like, how can they make these holes appear in the wall so quickly and then make them go away so quickly? It's just really clever. They're using every
Magic
kind of effect. Absolutely, yeah. They're using every kind of effect they can come up with here. So there's a giant hole in the wall of the theater. You see a crowd of tourists like looking to try to figure out what happens. There's a fire truck. Kermit is sitting on the ladder of the fire truck, which extends through the 3D plane into the audience. This is like one of those remote control Kermits, so his movements are a little stiff.
And it looks like the outside, the New York street set with a bunch of tourists all rushing around.
Yeah.
To see, oh my God, there's a fire.
Yeah, which I guess is no longer authentic because that's probably not what the space behind this theater looks like anymore, right?
Well, as you exit out, I think you still get they left like one bit.
Oh, okay.
Opposite from the Muppet-Vision theater.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, right now I think where they look out now is now the tunnel entrance to Galaxy's Edge.
There you go, Galaxy's Edge. It's all about Star Wars. Kermit apologizes for everything that's happened. He hopes it will come back again sometime, but that's not the end. Waldo comes back out again, and as Anthony mentioned, Waldo briefly turns into Mickey Mouse.
Voiced by Wayne Allwine.
Voiced by Wayne Allwine, the then current voice of Mickey Mouse. And then,
of course, Wayne's a legend. Don't get me wrong. Love him, of course. But like to me, this honestly just highlights what's wrong with Waldo being the main guy of this thing. Because when they say Mickey earlier and then it's Rizzo, well, that's a very distinctive character. Rizzo the Rat. And that's the joke. It's like it's not Mickey, it's this other weirder character, Rizzo the Rat. Here he is.
It's not the mouse, it's this rat.
Right. And in this one, it's just like, hey, Waldo, a character who is nothing, turns into
and
Mickey
we'll
Mouse
go back to nothing.
And we'll go back to nothing. Just turns into Mickey Mouse and sound is voiced by the actual Mickey Mouse guy for a moment, and that's a thing that happens. Like it is a
thing that happens.
Well, I think the idea is joke. What's more unexpected than a fake Mickey Mouse showing up in a Muppet attraction? The real Mickey Mouse showing up in a Muppet attraction.
But honestly, like you know more than I do. Is Mickey Mouse showing up in a Walt Disney World attraction?
Well, technically, it's Waldo impersonating Mickey Mouse, but I don't think you're expecting to see the Mickey Mouse that looks and sounds exactly like Mickey.
Doesn't everyone expect to see hidden Mickeys all the time everywhere?
Well, this isn't exactly hidden.
It sure is, because you didn't expect it. It's Waldo, and then hey, look, there's Mickey. Like, I don't know. Is it funny to have Waldo turn into the guy you already see everywhere? Is that funny?
Well, that's the idea, because he's trying to flee, and how better to escape into a Disney theme park than as Mickey Mouse?
I think
who's going to think that Mickey Mouse is suspicious in a Disney park?
I love this back and forth, by the way. I don't know, man. I think it's amusing. I wonder if and maybe in 1990 or 1991, it felt more subversive somehow to have this like wacky guy who's causing everything to go haywire. Yeah, for him to like, oh look, and now I'm gonna like, can you believe that I'm daring to impersonate Mickey Mouse? I don't know. Maybe there's an element of like,
Waldo
this is what happens when Disney tries to be edgy before they buy The Simpsons.
Yeah,
right.
But it does. It's not It's not that edgy.
No,
So.
It's edgy in the Muppet sense, where it's like, I'm this obnoxious guy, and now I'm this beloved character.
If you will, it's edgy in the Michael Eisner saying, "They're here."
Since you mentioned that, I just want to say I didn't give Michael Eisner enough credit in our previous episode for his delivery of that line in the introduction to Muppets at Walt Disney World. After we discussed that and we all agreed that he wasn't funny saying that line, I went back and listened to it. He wasn't that bad. It was
I thought you were going to say, I went back and listened to it. He actually was funny. That's what I thought you were going to say.
He was funnier than I gave him credit for.
Look, it's supposed to be a quick intro. Everyone knows who Michael Eisner is. He's not the star of this show.
But no,
it's
like
but he is funny in the outtakes.
Right.
Yeah. We talked about the outtakes.
But in that episode, I was talking about it from the point of view of like he doesn't do a good job recreating the famous line from Poltergeist. But that's really not what he's doing. Because when I think
Muppets and Disney, I think Poltergeist.
Well, sure, why not?
Ernie and Bert are in Poltergeist. So.
Oh, they're on the TV.
You know, Michael Eisner sitting with Fozzie and his mom. Turns to the camera and says, "They moved the headstones, but not the bodies."
But what he's actually doing, just so I can finish this thought before we continue, is it's more of a like a sarcastic almost, or resigned, like he's looking right at the camera after getting roughed up by a bunch of Muppets and going like they're here, like he's annoyed,
like chaos is about to unfold.
Yeah, right, I think on that level it works. So
they're here.
I think I think it's fine.
For everyone who listened to the previous episode.
Getting back to what we were doing, this is an excuse for Waldo to be obnoxious one last time before the vacuum Muppet finally gets him.
Forever.
And he's never seen again. Yeah.
No. What if when he turned into Mickey, what if he had said something like thanks for coming to the show, kids. Now make sure you go outside and buy an $8 pretzel at the snack stand, or something.
Now if
something that was more actively kind of making fun of the Disney, the Disney parks thing.
Goodbye, kids, and enjoy your day at Universal Studios Florida.
See, that would have been funny.
What if he had said, "Goodbye, kids, don't join a union"?
That's a Walt joke.
I thought Walt and Mickey were the same, right?
That would have been better.
Why, kids, don't join those commies down the
river. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so Disney, if you're listening, and you want to swap out that line, you can have these lines, these jokes.
Well, no, I want to get paid.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you can.
Yeah, that's true.
You have Joe the Legal Weasel write to us. Yeah, where are we? So that's almost the end.
That's like the end, yeah.
Yeah, Bean says, "What a cute ending." Oh, then Waldorf says, "Do we have time to go to the bathroom before the next show?" Statler says, "We can't, you old fool. We're bolted to the seats."
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's very my clock radio is frozen to my wrist.
Right? Oh, yeah, from Great Muppet Caper. Yeah, I like it. So that's the show.
Also a reference to being audio animatronics.
Right. They're not just puppets. I had some stuff on the gift shop that we already talked about. As we mentioned, this attraction now is located right next to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, so it's kind of been overshadowed by that. I feel like in the last maybe 10 to 15 years, every time this closes temporarily for maintenance, we're all kind of, Muppet fans are all
racing for it.
Yeah, holding our breath like, is this it? Is it ever going to reopen?
So, can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
This, it's been open for 31 years coming up.
Absolutely.
That's a good run, right?
It is a good run. Yeah.
It is the longest running 3D show attraction in Disney Parks history.
It is an excellent run.
Right.
Yeah.
So were it to close, it wouldn't be the biggest tragedy ever, right?
It wouldn't be a tragedy. The unfortunate thing would just be that there would not, presumably there would not be a place to
no
see
Muppets
it.
Presence.
Yeah, and that there would not be a place to see this thing that Jim Henson worked on.
And from the Disney Parks fans' perspective, when you know the history of Disney's Hollywood Studios, that park, it's like the second oldest attraction in the park, and Disney parks fans love their history.
Right.
And like,
right, of course. Yeah.
Literally the only attraction that's older than Muppet-Vision now is the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like those two things are like the last bits of that studio feel, because back in the day, it was a working movie studio.
And the whole vibe of it was like, here's a theme park that is about making movies. And now it's not really.
Now here is a theme park about entertainment and the stuff you watch.
Here's a theme park that's the same as the other theme parks. So, yeah.
Well,
but no, I mean, especially like when they tore down the hot air balloon, when they a couple of years ago they took off, like I think it used to even have a marquee that said Muppet Theater, and they took
it had the
down,
classic Muppet-Vision logo, and now it's a more generic sign that says like the Grand Avenue Theater, and it's like, well, if it says Grand Avenue Theater, they can put anything on it.
Exactly. So they could just take this out at any time and replace it with something else, which, maybe.
That being said, it does have a very strong following of fans.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, both Disney Park fans and Muppet fans, but it does also, to me, feel
people
sometimes
love that
like
Waldo.
It feels to me sometimes like if they're gonna just keep like killing it in little tiny bits and pieces, it might be just better to rip the Band-Aid off and close the whole thing.
We say they keep killing it in bits and pieces, but once you walk through those doors, it's basically the same as it's always been.
That's true. Sure. The actual, once you're in the theater watching that's true. You're right.
It's sad because it was so extremely detailed that losing a little bit of that detail does feel like you're ripping something away from the attraction. But at the end, it's cosmetics. Once you walk in, it feels the same as you have if you had walked in 1991.
It's true. It's just a little more fun to watch a Muppet 3D movie in a building in a courtyard where everything is Muppety. That's more fun than
anticipation, and it gives you a chance to walk around a Muppety environment.
Right. That's more fun than watching a Muppet 3D movie in a plain like brick warehouse, essentially. So the other idea,
Sesame Street lights, camera, imagination.
Right. You said there's no place to see that in the United States anymore, right?
I don't think there is. I mean, technically, the SeaWorld parks could bring them back.
Oh, yeah, maybe they will.
I suppose at will, but I don't think there's a place to currently see them. I could be wrong.
Well.
But those are just like generic 3D theaters, and you just go in and watch Sesame Street. It's not like this.
Not at the same level.
Muppet environment.
Right. The other thought that I've had is that they could, if they were looking for a way to revitalize this, they could shoot another Muppet 3D movie and like rotate it out with this one, so you could go twice in the same day to this theater and see the old, the classic Jim Henson Muppet-Vision 3D and then the new 3D Muppet.
My only fear is that they turn it into Epcot's France Pavilion, where they have the classic original film Impressions de France, which is this gorgeous 18-minute film of French sights and sounds from across the country with classical French music.
Is that a Circle Vision?
It's not quite a Circle Vision, but it is a very wide, curved screen.
Okay.
But they plan to replace it with a Beauty and the Beast sing-along.
Oh.
Then, but from what I've heard, then they decided they're going to run them in repertory. Beauty and the Beast during the day, and then they run Impressions de France for like an hour before closing.
After the kids go to bed.
Yeah, basically after dinner hour.
Yeah.
And what really sucks is that like all the reviews came in from fans, and they hated the Beauty and the Beast sing along. So now if you want to see the good attraction, you have to basically give up fireworks, give up, that last bit of shopping to go see this beautiful film. And that's what my fear if they put it in repertory.
Is the Beauty and the Beast sing-along just scenes from Beauty and the Beast with lyrics on the screen?
No, they've added a new backstory where basically you find out for all of his toadying to Gaston, LeFou was actually trying to bring Belle and the Beast together. And that he was kind of... They Lion King 1.5 it. If you know the story of Lion King, where it's like, oh, we were there the whole time.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and LeFou are dead.
Lion King 1.5 rules, though. I love that movie.
It is fun, but from what I've heard, the sing-along is
probably not as
great.
Good.
Yeah,
I think that's the only good direct-to-video sequel for Disney movies.
That's probably correct. So yeah, but that's my crazy idea is probably never gonna happen anyway. Probably would never happen anyway because it would require Disney to spend more money on a whole new film and
I think it's
I
think it's a perfectly fitting tribute that Jim Henson's last work is playing for guests every day. Guests from around the world can come and experience this as, for the most part, as he intended it.
Yeah, and so many kids, who didn't grow up with Jim as their Kermit even are seeing this every day and enjoying his work. And becoming big fans of Waldo.
They love him. They go nuts for that guy.
Of all the characters for Disney World's 50th, they wanted a character from Muppet-Vision 3D. They didn't go for Kermit. They didn't pick Fozzie. They didn't pick Miss Piggy. They went with Waldo.
That's the guy.
But you know why, though, Matthew? Because the ratings are way up, and then he turns into an elevator.
But because they can convince people that he was created for the attraction, because nobody remembers the Jim Henson Hour.
Right.
Exactly.
Nobody except Mr. Harry Stapleton.
Mr. Harry Stapleton.
And you, and both of you.
Right,
yes,
right.
Of course.
That's it, yeah.
Well, that's pretty much all I have on Muppet * Vision 3D. Do either of you have anything, Matthew, starting with you? Or have you exhausted all of your...
I'm like trying to think if I have any final thoughts other than this is amazing. This is why I love the Disney parks, because they can do things like this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a completely unique way to experience the Muppets. Anthony, anything?
Well, yeah, one thing. So in the what was the guy's name? Martin's Vids? Martin's
Vids, yes.
In the video, after the movie's over, he shows us around a little more. And one of the parody posters that we see, I recognized all of the parody posters that we see, except for one. And that one was a parody of the 2007 Walt Becker film, Wild Hogs, called simply Wild Frogs. And that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh.
And it makes me want to stop being a Muppet fan.
Oh, no.
What's worse is that you have Link Hogthrob, Dr. Strangeport, and Miss Piggy. They did the biker number. They did I Get Around on the Muppet Show. Why could you not just use Wild Hogs and have that?
Yeah,
well,
you could have the Wild Hogs, yeah.
It has to be some kind of like Mad Magazine style parody title, but they could call it Mild Hogs.
Mild Hogs, and then they're like looking.
Oh, I know why they couldn't call it Wild Hogs. Because Tough Pigs could sue.
Oh, sure, yes, we could.
It's the knockoff Tough Pigs.
Tough Pigs is going to sue Disney for using
You've been
our
ripping
ideas.
off our stuff.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But no, those parody posters are interesting. I'm glad you brought those up because they have actually updated those. I guess maybe when it closed for the digital remaster, maybe in 2009. But some of those...
Wild Frogs is not from 1991.
Right, exactly. And there's like a preschool musical parody with the Electric Mayhem.
High School Mayhem.
High School Mayhem.
You just said preschool musical, which is
I said preschool musical.
Yeah, that was High School Mayhem with the Electric Mayhem. They've also done.
As far as I'm concerned,
Wally.
As far as I'm concerned, preschool musical is the definitive version.
Yeah,
and
the Beaker Wally poster is great.
And Miss Piggy as Hannah Montana.
Right.
Yeah, that's bad news. That's bad news, Michael. I remember when Hannah Montana was on Studio DC Almost Live with the Muppets. Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
that was something.
Then I think another one from that was Pirates of the Amphibian at Wit's End. Bringing it back to the Disney
Adventures in
park.
Odyssey fanfic.
And I think when they redid the pre-show room, when they added like the new widescreen TVs, they did even more parodies because now they have, and they're all Disney parodies. This is. I'm just looking at them right now on Muppet Wiki. This is the Anthony Hour because it's all old, old movie, classic Disney movies.
Hit me.
Prawn, as a parody of Tron with Pepe.
Tron, sure. Oh, that's old. Okay, yeah.
Herbie Goes Unhinged, but it's who stars in the original Love Bug? It's Dean Jones,
It's Dean
Buddy
Jones
Hackett,
and
is it Suzanne Plachette?
No, it's she was on Knots Landing later. It's that lady from Knots Landing.
Well,
Michelle,
it's the three people
Michelle Lee.
Okay, well, it's like the three classic racing outfits, but it's Walter, Gonzo, and Animal. So Disney has not completely forgotten about Walter.
I like that Walter is represented at Muppet-Vision. No way.
And the absent-minded Professor Honeydew. And it's
Okay.
just, Bunsen staring, looking through it. Bunsen and Beaker, and of course an explosion is happening behind them. And the tagline is "Making tomorrow happen, one catastrophe at a time."
Nice. One of the old ones that I guess isn't there anymore. What was the Tarzan one?
Tarzan.
It was like Kermit as Tarzan. And...
it's not it is Tarzan, but it's not you, Jane. It's moi, Jane.
Moi, Jane.
She's Hollywood. He's Vine.
That's So I remember.
That's old though, right? That's
Disney's
Tarzan, right?
Yeah.
That's
Was that one of the parody calendars?
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been. I just remember. I think
Miss Piggy Legends of the Silver Screen calendar, 82, I believe.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I remembered back on Steve Swanson's Muppet Cast. I think he had Jim Lewis and Craig Shemin on as guests on the same episode, and they were talking about some of these parodies, and I might be remembering this wrong, but I seem to recall that one of those two writers was complimenting the other for having come up with the tagline, "She's Hollywood, he's Vine," for this Tarzan parody.
Let's see. I'm looking over. Yeah, let's see. Moi Jane is June in the 1982 Miss Piggy calendar. I do not see that there is any text on the image, though. So maybe they wrote the text for something later.
Yeah, could be. All right. So with that, then, we will wrap things up for this week. Everyone, please make sure you check out toughpigs.com on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else. Our logo is by Morgan Davy. Our theme music is by Stacey Rosen. Thanks to the both of them. And hey, we have a Patreon. If you have made it this far and you've liked what you've heard, or if you like what we do on the website, please consider becoming a patron of our Patreon at patreon.com/toughpigs. And we like to hear from you. So if you have thoughts on this episode, on Muppet-Vision, or anything we've said, feel free to drop by the Tough Pigs forum. There's a link on the front page of toughpigs.com, or you can email us at movinrightalong@toughpigs.com and let us know what your deal is. You can find me on Twitter at @MeRyanRowe. I'm on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat. Anthony is on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. And Matthew, where can people find you or your work or anything you'd like them to see on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Matthew Soberman.
Very good.
2 T's.
2 T's. Everybody go. So 3 D's, but only 2 T's.
2 T's. Yes.
Everybody go do that. And if you don't mind, please give us a positive review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you can give us a review. And tell your friends about the show and join us again next time. What are we doing next time, Anthony?
We have decided that we are going to do another bonus episode on the Muppets Celebrate Jim Henson.
That is true. So sometime in the relatively near future, that will be coming your way. So keep an eye out for that and join us.
Ready to cry.
Oh yeah. Get the tissues.
It's an emotional special.
Yes.
So join us again for Moving Right Along. Bye.
Bye.
buy all your Waldo C. graphic merchandise in the gift shop.
Please exit to your right and enjoy the rest of your day at toughpigs.com.
What a cute ending.